I'm really excited about getting back on the court tomorrow night. We didn't have our best game up in Nashville. We didn't make our free throws. They got to the line too much, out of position defensively. Another slow start in the second half. And we've addressed all of those things in our practices. So hopefully we can, especially on the road, whenever you're on the road, you got to start the game off strong and hopefully start off the second half strong. And we didn't do either of those things. So we've had a couple of good days of practices and ready to embark on this next challenge on the road.
Start up front, Alex.
Obviously, this is the rivalry here in the state, but
Yeah.
what was your first introduction to it? You know, maybe with fans or what, and can you just kind of relay that first experience?
My first experience was probably, watching our football game, in Florida and seeing how the folks, Bama fans that we were watching the game with, they were basically climbing the walls on every, down. So that was pretty exciting. But just hearing the passion of our fans and alumni, students, and administration when I first took the job here, a lot of the talk was about that rivalry against Auburn. So I'm excited to be a part of it. I know it goes back a long, long, long ways. A lot of great games in all sports. And it's probably going to be another great game on tomorrow night.
I remember when you first got here, you talked about maybe cooking something up with Bruce, maybe getting some kind of rivalry going with him from meeting him on the recruiting stops. I mean, anything come of that?
Well, I don't want to cook up anything with him if both of our teams are bad, okay? You don't want to cook up anything when the teams are bad, not making a tournament. It'd be much more fun if both of us were a tournament team. So rather than trying to cook up something now, I'm trying to cook up a formula to stop us from turning the ball over. What about that? I think that's what I'm trying to cook up. So yes, that's what we're trying to cook up.
Also, just if your players, if you get any indication of what it's going to be like when you go into that gym tomorrow night, just being on the road, a hostile environment?
It won't be the worst hostile environment I've seen. You know all of the places I've been, right? So maybe for some of our new guys that are new to the rivalry, it might be for them. But, I've been in a lot of different places, so there's none that really stick out. I mean, Boston Garden, it's a lot of places. Oklahoma City has a pretty intense home court, Golden State Warriors, a lot of places, and so I've seen a lot in my career.
Coach, obviously, they're coming off a big win over Kentucky, where the crowd really got into it. Is this one of those games where the first 5 or 7 minutes are really critical, especially considering their crowd is still probably going to be on that buzz?
Yeah, the first 5 to 7 minutes in any game is critical. Look at, our last home game. If you look at how we played the first 5 to 7 minutes of our game and then how we started the second half, that's where the game is now. Everybody loves to focus on the last 3 to 5 minutes of the game, but, starting games off with the right type of tempo and energy and positive mindset, it's important. We've taken pride at being a pretty decent road team this year. That's why I was a little bit surprised at our lack of focus and energy in our last game. And, whenever you get to the free throw line 20 times and you only make 7, you got to look internally at what's going on and how we are, set at the free throw line, body position, confidence, clearly seeing the basket with positive thoughts going through our minds.
Other questions, Coach?
How much do you expect this game to both the teams are pretty on the upper half of the three-point shooting percentage and 3 points made. So how much do you kind of expect this game to be won kind of beyond the arc?
I think it's important, when teams make double-figure three-point shots, obviously it takes a lot of pressure off your offense and it opens the floor up, and Candy obviously is going to make, shots and, You know, because he draws so much attention, it frees up some other guys to make 3-point shots. So we're going to have to defend from the 3-point line in, you know, because they got quite a few guys that can knock down some threes.
Got time for a couple more questions? Anything else, Coach? All right. Thank you all.
Okay, thanks.